There was no eureka moment, no bolt of lightning, no switch flipping in my brain. It was just an inconceivably slow fade. One day I looked around and I realized I didn't care about the things I was supposed to. Not in the way people kept insisting I should. Career goals, spiritual awakenings, faith in the system. The words never landed. It just sort of passed through me like a screen door. I didn't feel broken or hurt. I just stopped pretending things made sense, or that the way things were framed even mattered. There's a name for it, I guess. Call it nihilism if you want. But it wasn't a dark or poetic thing. It was more practical, like learning to walk barefoot because your shoes wore out. Before I go further, please like, subscribe. Don't be a poser. See, the world hadn't totally collapsed. It just kept coming apart quietly. Parents stopped pretending to be happy. The news got louder but said less. Church got thinner. Schools ran on fumes. No one around me seemed to believe in anything, but they still made me feel guilty for not buying in. I didn't riot. I didn't rebel. I got quiet. I watched and noticed, and I learned how to keep moving without expecting the road to lead anywhere. Honestly, television did most of the raising. Not because it was great, but because it was consistent. The adults were busy or gone or somewhere in between, so the screen filled the space. Sitcoms, game shows, news, reruns. People with perfect teeth, solving problems in under 30 minutes. It never felt real, but it helped me understand the script everyone else seemed to be reading from. Smiling through bullshit, clapping on cue, pretending not to feel the anxiety twisting in their chests. I didn't hate it. It just made things clearer. This is what performance looks like. This is how you fake belief. Church was the same way. I went a few times, sat, listened, tried to believe that something would click, but it didn't. I don't remember a single sermon. Just the smell of old carpet, aftershaved, and the hushed voices, the hollow certainty. People nodding at ideas they didn't seem to live by. Praying with their eyes half closed and their minds somewhere else. Eventually I stopped going. Not out of defiance. It wasn't a good fit. And if there was a God, I figured he already knew how I felt. The truth didn't come from books or adults or sacred texts. For me, it came from music, from choppy cassette recordings, 5-song punk demos, and mixtapes left on car seats. It came from skateboarding in the streets with my friends and experiencing real life outside of the protection of parents and teachers. It came from things made by people who weren't trying to sell me anything. None of it explained the universe, but it didn't lie. You could feel the cracks in the vocals, the loneliness in the lyrics, the strange sense of someone else reaching out with no plan, no conclusion, just the need to be heard before the silence came back. It wasn't therapy, but it kind of kept me alive. People call it nihilism like it's something dramatic, like it's a switch you flip and suddenly want to burn the world down. That's not what I felt. What I felt was absence, a quiet subtraction, like a room that slowly empties out and nobody says goodbye. I still showed up to things, still worked jobs, still loved people, still answered the phone. I just stopped waiting for any of it to mean something more than it really was. And that didn't feel tragic, it felt honest. Jobs never offered purpose, just structure, just a place to be when you had nowhere else to go. I did the work, did it well enough to get by, not because I believed in it, but because I needed to eat and didn't like being broke. People told me to follow my dreams, and I didn't have the time. Dreams don't pay bills. I wasn't building a legacy, I was building a life that I could survive. And when you stop pretending your job defines you, you start to see what actually does. How you show up, how you treat people, what you hold on to when the lights go out. Love never looked like the stories. It was never clean, never tidy, no orchestras or speeches. It looked like sitting next to someone while they fall apart, like staying quiet while they try to find the words, like sharing a bed where neither of you slept. There was beauty in the breakdown, in the way two people could hold each other without fixing anything. That's what they never tell you. Love isn't clarity, it's company. And faith faded the same way. Not with anger, just disinterest. I didn't need a religion to feel wonder. Didn't need a priest to tell me what grace looked like. I saw it in the way dogs fall asleep on your chest. I heard it in a stranger's voice at 3 a.m. on a long drive. in the sound of wind blasting against the window while you sit inside in silence. If God exists, I doubt he's impressed by buildings. I think he's in the little things no one brags about. The quiet choices, the invisible kindness, the act of showing up when no one expects you to. And getting older didn't change much. I still don't believe in most things. But I've learned to care about smaller ones, not out of hope, not out of obligation, just because something inside me still searches, still listens, and still wants to be present when it counts. I've buried lots of friends. I've watched lots of people disappear, some to death, some to time, some to silence they never came back from. You carry that with you, not as a burden, but as shape, because it molds who you are. Not with purpose, just with weight. And sometimes people ask me what Gen X believed in. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't think belief was even the point. We just stopped lying to ourselves about what was and what wasn't working and just kind of lived with what was left. Not everyone understands that. We eventually did. I don't need meaning now. I don't wake up searching for signs. I don't need the universe to nod back at me. I take the day as it is. I do what needs to be done, feel what comes, and keep moving. I don't think that's nihilism. I think it's clarity. I'm not trying to leave anything behind. No legacy, no wisdom, no final thoughts. I'm just trying to be decent while I'm here. Trying not to make the world worse. Trying to sit in my own skin without flinching. And if I can find comfort in that, good. If not, well, that's fine too. This isn't a sermon. It's basically just a note left on a table. So take it or leave it. This has been Slack Signal X.